And I hope we'll have some pieces that you'll be able to trend
Yes.
into,
Yes.
like, to promote for yourself too. So, I'm
Thank
sure.
you so much. Thank you. I
Well,
appreciate that. And what we're going to do, my dear, is I have a short description, a short introduction for you. And then I'm just going to have this question, what's your story, Wendy? Or something like that. I love to have free flow talks, really raw, super friendly. Please feel free to take the talk anywhere you want to. If you feel like talking for 30 minutes, please do so. You don't need to ask for to wait for any of my questions. I really want you to have a great
and
fun
this is
time.
coming from a woman who was not allowed to use her voice, who is
Yeah.
now taking the opportunity to empower other people to just say what you feel. And I'll tell you why that strikes me so hard is I had a wonderful assistant for a long time, an amazing man. He became a partner of mine in a project. He was so fascinating, and his mother had mental illness, and he was very curious and brilliant, photographic and audiographic memory. And when he was a little boy, she said to him, um, "You need to stop talking because I can't stand the sound of your voice." And basically, he was asking her questions: "Why this? Why that? Why things?" As a small boy, 4-year old, and from then on, he didn't speak. Ran away from home, didn't speak. They didn't come looking for him. Like the craziest scenario. And it all came back to she said, "I can't say that." And he has a lovely speaking voice and a lovely and it's so brilliant. And I said, "I love the sound of your voice. I love it when you ask me questions. I love when you speak." I met him in a coffee shop and he burst into tears. He said, "No one's ever said that to me before." And then it was like a shell that just cracked open and all the pearls rolled out. I love pearls are a thing. I love pearls.
Look at this.
Beautiful. I noticed that right away. Love it.
And here.
Because pearls were an irritating piece of sand at one point in time.
Wow.
The oyster knew, and that if it kept coating it and coating it and coating it, that
Wow.
at the end of the oyster's life, something beautiful would come out. We are the same. We are pearls. At some
We
point in
are.
time, something bothers us so deeply that we have to figure out how to coat it with, lacquer, and then whatever it's called, and then when it comes out, and that's important. So pearls, we're pearl
Wow.
girls. So
This
there,
gave me chills, Wendy. Thank you for saying that. It really hit a chord in
yeah.
me right now. And I think I need to work on some things, after we finish our talk for today, because
We
you just
always need to
remind
work
me.
on
Yeah.
something. So
Oh
I'm
my
happy
God.
to. So I'm gonna grab a tissue while I have a
Yes.
second
Yes.
because I might cry. That happens.
I love that. I love it that you allow yourself to be so
Oh,
vulnerable. I love that.
oh, it was a very big struggle because when I came out of prison, it was a very big struggle because you can't, you have to have that mindset. You're never vulnerable in prison. And I never had a bad situation. We'll talk about that. But, and my business mentor is my dear friend. And he said, "You're going to have to figure out, we're going to have to work to embrace the vulnerability." And I was like, "I don't want to. I don't, I've made it this far." And he said, "There is no going back. You have to feel all the things that have happened, and then you're a different person." And it was incredibly valuable. I'm so grateful to him for being there when I picked up the phone. I was released, and I picked up the phone, and I didn't know what to do. And I called him, a very successful businessman, and I said these words. I said, "I don't know what to do." And he said, "I do. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, coffee, our spot. We'll get started." He's not a therapist. He just had done the work on himself, saw it in me, and knew it had to be done. And that tremendous gift. And that opened up doors to everything else I've done since then. And how do you heal? Like, how do we heal? We have to heal by using our voice. There's no other way about it. We can't squish it down. We can't, there's no,
Exactly.
we use our voice in a trusted space. There's this phrase that I love that someone said, she was really good at holding space for me. And I thought that is it's literally holding that safe, warm environment where there's nothing that's cannot be said. The cry, the tears, the crazy laughter, the stories, everything that can come out of it, holding that space for somebody. People, friends, mentors who can do that are angels, because then there's nothing that's not safe about being who we are. And then, okay, you've done it now. In here, you can do it out there. We have to do that. So again, holding space is something that I've noticed is the most precious. Having a conversation where just someone actively listens the way you are, Roxana, is priceless, because that space allows us to say the words, feel the feels, examine exactly, what's um, all the layers, and and the pearls come out. Then the pearls come out. Until then, they can't. They're just irritants, and they don't see the light of day. So I'm a big believer in that. So
thank you for saying that, Wendy. This is so therapeutic for me as well to listen to you say that. It really, I mean, even
you do a very good job of it. It's interesting, Roxana, that most people who do a very good job of it, somewhere in their life, they didn't have someone who did that for them. And we all have to learn that we can be that for someone, and then the door goes both ways, and they can be that for us.
wow.
So
This is so powerful. And we haven't even started. Just look at my skin. I'm so grateful for you, Wendy. You are
oh,
such
and the
a
honor is
gift,
mine. My daughter from
honestly.
Israel texted me earlier, and she said, "Mom, you don't speak Romanian." I said, "We'll figure it out."
Oh my God, that's
Okay, well, I'll listen for it. It'll be interesting. So I think she thinks that I did a quick study in the Romanian languages, and no, I said, no, she speaks English. We're okay. So she was concerned. I don't speak Hebrew either, so whatever. It's all good. So
yeah.
only one language. I've only got one language. I only have 3 skills and one language. I can write, I can tell a good story. And frankly, I'm so blessed. I collect amazing people who do the rest of the stuff. I have big plans. And that's it. Those are my 3 skills. That's all I got. That's it.
And you are quite a phenomenal storyteller. You know, I'm such a huge content consumer. I love to educate myself, and I also need to improve my English. I listen to many audiobooks, but I
Your
think
English
you
is
must
stellar.
be. Thank you so much. It's work in progress, and I think that you must be one of the best
Oh,
storytellers,
that's
Wendy,
such
that
an
I've
honor.
really,
Thank
I could listen to you for days.
I
Just
could talk
listening.
for days.
I love that.
My father's a great storyteller. My mother, God bless her, would say, I'll put the kids to bed. I'll tell them a bedtime story. My mother was an actress and a costumer and she's an amazing woman. And she would go in the room with them, and they'd all be in their pajamas. 45 minutes later, it's the story had props and costumes and song and dance numbers. And we never saw that, it was behind the door in the bedroom. And the kids would be like, finally get to sleep, because you've been in a Broadway show. It's not so like kind of thing. And she'd walk out and she'd be exhausted. Oh my gosh. And Mom, it was just a story. She said, it's never just a story. You gotta give them everything. And my kids still talk about them. They can still quote those stories this day. And my mother has forgotten them. But my kids were not kids. They're in their 20s and 30s.
Wow.
They'll tell you what Mom said. So that was really cool. My dad's a fun storyteller. My grandparents, it was just it was great to listen to them a lot. And it was listen to them, and then they would say, "What have you got, Wendy? Well, what can you?" And I would throw something out there, and they'd laugh, and they loved it, and I loved the audience, so there was a lot of fun. My poor sisters, honestly, they're like, oh, they would just watch. What else could they do? They would watch. They're lovely, amazing people, and in their own right, they're wonderful speakers. They just don't do it as often as I do. It's a
Yeah.
muscle. You exercise it.
Exactly.
You would find if you don't hear English for a while, in a language for a while, it just kind of gets any language, it gets foggy in your head. Like, does this, anything? So yeah, it's like anything. We
Yeah,
don't use it, we lose it. So,
yeah,
so
exactly.
okay, you
Oh,
go, whatever you like to do, I'm in. You can use that
great.
above, whatever's good for you.
Wonderful. Well, my dear, if you're ready, we can start in just a few seconds.
Happy to.
Great. Okay. So we are going to start in 3, 2, 1,